Hello, my name is Dustin Reese, and for this presentation I will be discussing the roles of an institutional research office. To include the functions of an institutional research office, the types of data that the office can expect to research and examine, as well as the services provided by the institutional research office. While the roles within these offices can change from institution to institution, there are still some basic functions and responsibilities of each that remain steady. Before I can begin to discuss how and why an institutional research office exists, I should first provide a definition of the term institutional research. It can mean a number of things for different people or institutions, so I'll use a widely accepted and known definition from Joe Salp in his 1990 publication of The Functions of Institutional Research. Salp defines institutional research as a set of activities that support institutional planning, policy formation, and decision making. While this is a very broad definition, it allows us to understand the basic responsibility of the institutional research office. Depending on the type of institution, institutional research offices may report to different people in different departments. Many institutions house their institutional research offices within the office of the provost or the vice president of academic affairs, while others report directly to the president of the institution. There are some other reporting lines that can exist as well. For example, I work at a community college in Northern California. For quite a while, our institutional research office reported directly to the Vice President for Academic Affairs. Over the last few years, my campus has really emphasized the importance of planning, and as such has created a Vice President for Planning, Research, and Organizational Development. Now, the institutional research office at my college reports directly to the Vice President for Planning. Generally, institutional research offices share many of the same functions, some at department level and others at institutional level. The most important aspect of the office that essentially drives the other functions is that the office communicates information to the campus decision makers. While much of this information is available to everyone, it's really the expertise within the Office of Institutional Research that can analyze the information and communicate it to campus leaders in a way that makes sense. Institutional research office staff also conduct numerous assessment studies, including assessing student learning outcomes, program review data, retention information, and other enrollment management data. Many departments on campus also have specific requests for information to help them with their own outcomes, student demographic information, completion rates, and other information. Some institutional research offices also provide periodic data reports to the media or post the information on the website for public consumption. Gathering and analyzing data is a major function of the institutional research office. But where does this data come from? Well, I've broken it down into two categories: external data sources and internal data sources. Externally, institutional research offices can gather data from different data exchanges, like the Association of American Universities Data Exchange, the Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System, or IPEDS, and the Community College Survey of Student Engagement, CESI, or the Common Data Set Initiative. These are all very common data exchanges in which many colleges and universities participate to gather and exchange data not just for their own institution, but also from other institutions to compare and contrast data between them and to understand different trends at the state and federal levels that may impact their own institution. Internal data is also very important for institutional research offices, but it may not always be available depending on different staffing levels at the college or university or the emphasis that the institution has placed on gathering the data. Many institutions have some sort of Management Information System, or MIS, database, which allows staff to pull down reports and analyze the data to help inform decision making. Institutional research office staff can analyze the data and provide information to departments. Also, institutional research offices can and should utilize campus surveys as part of the data collection. Surveys can provide information about what recruitment strategies are effective. It can inform administrators about diversity issues on campus and provide information about the effectiveness of a number of college planning, budgeting, and shared governance processes. Demographic snapshots are also important sources of data that institutional research offices can provide to administrators. In California, more emphasis has been placed recently on community colleges to implement and maintain student equity plans to assist with disproportionately impacted students in a number of key categories. Without this quality demographic snapshot data, these colleges would not even know where to begin. There are so many services provided by institutional research offices, and these services span all departments on campus. In academic affairs, institutional research offices help track the quality and effectiveness of academic programs and help to also track faculty workload. In student affairs, surveys can provide valuable information on student satisfaction as well as provide a picture about the campus climate in a number of areas, including diversity. In enrollment management, these offices provide enrollment projections, they assist with class scheduling, and they track recruitment and retention trends, data, and best practices. In business services, institutional research offices can assist with revenue projections, provide data to inform unit planning, and assist with developing tuition pricing. These are just some of the services provided. As more and more academic leaders begin to trust and understand how this vital data can be to making long-term impactful decisions, the emphasis on these services will also grow. In addition to the websites, to the data exchanges that I provided earlier, these are some of the resources that really helped me to gain a good foundational understanding of what some of these offices do. I would suggest taking a look at some of these resources if you want to get a better understanding of the foundation of these offices and the basic duties and responsibilities of them.